All right, on the bench, apart, cleaned, and ready for rebuild when my parts come in, out of a 2002 Chevy Suburban with a 5.3, we have the good old 4L60E, and we have 204,000 miles on the clock. So what's going on with this is the customer that owns the car came in saying his car does not move in the drive range or in the number 3 range. He has to pull it down to 2 or 1 to get it to go. Reverse was okay. So I've seen this before. A couple of things are going to cause this. One of the things that normally see to cause this problem is stripped teeth on the forward clutch. All right, that was not the case, but the input sprag, the other thing that will cause this is the input sprag being no good. And those clutches, that's the hub for the forward clutches. So, you know, the sprag is supposed to turn one way and freewheel one way and lock the other. Well, this sprag is totally shot. It's freewheeling both ways. I took the transmission down and cleaned it, as you see, because it landed on my bench a little too early, you know, about noon, and now it's after hours. And I'm probably about 2 weeks behind in work, so I really couldn't let it sit there. I need to get it apart and just go as far as I can. I got parts coming in my night delivery box, but I did, you know, I knocked the bushings in, and I did what I could until the rest of my parts show up tonight, and I'm going to get on it very early tomorrow morning. So the sprag, I did not take apart yet, so we could do it together, and I'll show you. And I have the replacement one here, and I have a new input sprag as well. But, you know, I'll show you what this does compared to what this does. But I'm sorry I could not tear this down with you guys. It's just way too busy here. So I just wanted to do a quick video to show you this problem. And one other thing, you know, I wanted to also show you is the shell. I always change these. I get my parts from TranStar, and TranStar has an aftermarket shell for about 40 bucks, which is fine. I believe it's universal, meaning you could take the 4-tab washer or the bearing, whichever one is on the back. And these, you know, if this sprag wouldn't have went bad, then this would have stripped, because these splines are probably maybe at least halfway worn out. And I also wanted to show you, another thing I'm getting is the rear planet. I had to check those. That actually is no good, so I have one of those coming as well. But it'll just be a quick video. Again, apologies for not doing the teardown. I do have other teardown videos on 4L60E, but very, very busy, crazy busy. I'm here, you know, long days, start very early, work till 7, 8 o'clock at night, and just to try to keep up with the work. I'm not even getting ahead, I'm just keeping up with the work. So we still have plenty more. I got 3 or 4 Transits out there, I got Hondas, I got 2 or 3 Fords, forget it, crazy. So let me get a little closer and we'll just go over these things real quick. I just wanted to do a quick video with the issue with this particular 4L60E. Okay, all right, so here is the good sprag. This is the housings I'm going to be using. This is a later setup. There is early and late. So you see how it turns one way freely and locks the other way. Okay. So this turns this way, locks the other way. And then here is the bad one. And this one, I'm turning both ways. All right, so this thing is totally shot. This whole thing is not going to be able to be used. The outer race, the inner race. I'm going to knock the sun gear out and knock it in here and reuse the sun gear. Okay, so let's take this apart and see what this thing looks like. So I'm going to pop the snap ring out. Okay, this is the hub for the underdrive clutch. And look at the sprag in here. If you just look at it, you can see the thing is shot. Nothing really left. And this is the single cage. And when I put this in, I update it to the dual cage. I think the dual, I'll show you this one, the dual cage is in there, but I have a new one coming. All right, so this thing is, forget it. Look at that. That's pretty much what is left of it. So again, I'm going to knock this out and use this over again because this gear is okay. All right, so this inner race does not feel all that good. It's supposed to be perfectly smooth. Also this, you know, was pitted, no good. This actually is okay. I can save this in case sometimes these things get dug out here and you have to change it and you can't really get this separate. You have to buy the whole thing to get it. So I'll probably hold on to this, but everything else is terrible. That's what's left of the sprag. All right, so let's get this out of the way. And we will take a look at the other one, which should also be, like I said, the updated sprag. Okay. So let's take this snap ring out. Okay, that looks good. Push this out. And you can see this one here is the dual cage. So this is the one that I have that I'm waiting for. This is like an updated one that's going to go in. Okay. So these races here, this is very nice and smooth along with this one. This is nice and smooth. So just remember when you are, before you take these apart, you know, assuming the sprag is good, check your rotation. Make sure, because this thing can go in, you know, for instance, it can go in this way, okay, and it can go in this way. So you got to make sure you check your rotation so that it goes in correctly, so it operates correctly when the transmission goes back together. If there's any issue, you know, you can probably always look this stuff up online. You can always send me a message on through the YouTube channel. I'll see if I can help you with that. So very important just to check the sprag rotation when you change the sprags. I did one that I did a video on. A gentleman built his own 5HP24. He did a great job. He did everything right, except he didn't pay attention of which way the sprag came out. So when he put that back together, it took off in first. It didn't really shift, and I think what the deal was, it took off in first. You put it in manual one, and then when you put it up in second, I mean, that sprag just stopped those wheels, and you weren't going anywhere. I mean, you got thrown forward. You know, you were going to do a face plant if you had any kind of speed. So check your rotation of the sprag before you take it apart, as long as the sprag is good if you're overhauling. If the sprag is bad like that one and you can't, then just look it up to see which way it freewheels, clockwise, counterclockwise, you know, locks to the clock. You just look it up. And again, if you need any help, you can always send me a message, and I can see if I have any information, depending on the transmission that you're working on. Okay, so another one I have to order is this rear Planetary. All right, and when I check these, all right, you can see the gear is rocking back and forth, not up and down. Okay, so this is no good. The pin in there is no good. This thing is totally shot. All right, and then this one, see, now this one is good. We have a little up and down movement, but I have no rocking at all. Okay, I have no rocking here at all. And here another one, very bad. This thing is shot. Okay, so none of the gears are broken. So this I can just replace just the one piece here. So another thing, You know, even with this one, you got a bearing in here. Make sure that bearing is good, and just, you know, make sure this one's normally pretty good. No movement. Make sure it spins good. Okay, so this one is all right. That's going to go back in the car. And then this shell here, I get again the aftermarket shell, and it's very common for these to strip out. And when they do, see, it's got a little play in it here. When they do, you lose second, fourth, and reverse. So they make these with hardened splines. So either the splines strip out or this piece, this hub, breaks off, and you lose second, fourth, and reverse. I don't know how well you can see in here, but the splines are definitely worn. And I tell you, even if they weren't worn, I do this as a standard rebuild procedure. I change this shell all the time to the hardened one. Okay. You know, just other than that, I wanted to share the problem with you guys. Okay, also another problem, let me just show you this. I got a plate coming. Transgo makes the plate. This hole right here is like double the size, and the check ball was stuck in there. It should more be like, you know, something like this, and it's this size. So when you get your, when I took the valve body off, taking this thing apart, you know, the check ball was stuck in there like that, right here. All right, so another standard rebuild procedure is I change this. Transgo has a plate 96 and up. You know, it pretty much fits all models, I believe. But there's some good aftermarket fixes out there. There's some good stuff out there, you know, that can be used during the rebuild. Okay, on the stator, your pressure regulator valve lives here. All right, and here is the boost valve that I like to change with the Sonics one. All right, so you measure the length of the bushing here, and it's early and late, and then you measure. I always go with the biggest one if it's the early one. And then you measure the thickness of this land. But there's like the, I think the well, let's see what this one is. I ordered the biggest one, because this thing's a pretty big car, you know. So this one is, all right, 470. And the next size up is 490. That's like an upgrade. So this is 470. And I ordered the 490. All right, because what happened one time is it came in, one of these came in with the 3/4 clutches bad. Clutches, steels, the whole thing. You know, that can, a lot of times that could be caused by the motor pistons, you know, going bad, debonding, whatever. So I did the overhaul, and honestly, I don't know, maybe a few weeks later, it came back, had the same problem, and you know, I said, okay, so we got to figure this thing out. And I know it's not pistons or the drum, you know, the big input drum here. I know it's nothing like that. So what I did was I took, let me just back out a little bit here. I took the input drum with the pump, and I put the pump. I got a new bushing here and a new bushing here. I just knocked them in, very nice. I put the pump on top, and I was air checking it, the third clutch, the 3/4 clutch, and then I felt air coming out, and air was actually escaping through this boost valve. So Sonics is escaping through the boost valve here. So Sonics makes these with O-rings on them, and you got to use a lot of lube because you can tear the O-ring. All right, so I use the blue grease, the trans gel, and I use STP. I get it all in here, and I get it in, you know, I put all the STP in here so it slides in easy. I have torn the O-rings before. I didn't like the way it went in. I took it back out. I tore the O-ring, but they do give you extras. And then I air checked again. I had no air coming out, and that fixed my problem. So just a couple things on the good old 4L 60E. Just waiting for my banner kit. With pistons and the plate and, you know, some of these stuff that I had in stock, so I was able to do some stuff And then, you know, I'll have what I need to build this thing tomorrow morning in the box. And I got 60-45 on this bench and just so much more here. And that's about it. So I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and we will see you next one.